Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for this Memorial Day, Monday, May the 29th of 2017 from Greensville, South Carolina. Not only was this Memorial Day edition of Raw, there's also was the go-home show before Extreme Rules this Sunday. And when it comes to my thoughts on this Raw tonight, I got only one word to say about it. Yeah! We had the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is that when it comes to the main event for Extreme Rules, it got a lot of great build with two great matches involving the 5 men in our Fatal 5-Way this Sunday, being a triple threat match and a one-on-one main event to end on a good note after flagging a little bit, especially that third hour. And we also got some enhancements into the ongoing Enzo Amore storyline. Of course, got some good promos from Goldust and R-Truth. And even Corey Graves is getting involved in some storylines. I'll elaborate on those as I get along to them. The bad. The rest of the card for Extreme Rules when it comes to the build for those feuds, it was just okay. With endings of some matches kind of giving away the results for Sunday. Now, I'll elaborate on that as well when we get to those segments as well. And then we had the ugly. This is your life. God, I felt so bad for Alexa Bliss. Dude, as she had to put up with this shit. To paraphrase the great Gene Snitsky, it was not Alexa's fault. It wasn't her fault. It was created for giving you this material. Thinking it should turn shit into gold. And unfortunately, the shit was too big. And even she, with her magnificent mic skills, couldn't save this shit of a segment. Proving that The Rock did it better. Even though Baywatch flopped. Anyway! So yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start from the beginning with an episode of Miz TV. With Miz and Maurice talking about this Sunday with the Miz challenging Dean Ambrose for the IC Championship with the stip. Weird stip. You know, it's Extreme Rules. Yet we have some non-extreme steps like a submission match. And this stip being that if Ambrose gets DQ'd, he'll lose the title. Now, we've seen this stip used before, but why use it for Extreme Rules? Because we've seen Ambrose in street fights before, especially one against Kevin Owens. It was a last man standing match, and the Rumble Bro was pretty good. Better than his Lesnar match at Mania last year. So, as Miz was talking about how he's going to beat up Ambrose, and how Ambrose is going to get DQ'd, like he did last week when Miz attacked Elias Simpson in his in-ring debut, giving Ambrose the loss. Miz would then focus on his two guests, the challengers for the tag team titles this Sunday, Cesaro and Sheamus, saying that all the fans turned on us because they liked the brand new chart in town, and that's the Hardys coming back. The pop for them has not been the best lately ever since, I think it's died down after Mania, especially with them not being able to use their booking gimmick still, and also, for all I'm hearing, not only that, is WWE may not want to use it at all, even if the Hardys win the lawsuit with Anthem, but they gotta use it somehow. I hope they do, in some way, shape, and capacity. So, anywho, as the show on Savers was running down on the Hardys, Dean Ambrose comes out for reasons, talking about his feud against Miz about this Sunday, saying that I don't make great decisions, but when there's 3 butt-ends in the ring, I gotta interrupt this. And he wanted a piece of all 3 of them. But Miz is like, Ambrose, you're stupid. You're not that stupid. You're not that stupid to challenge all 3 of us when it's just one of you. Well, Ambrose had backup, and that was the Hardys. Clearing the ring with the Hardys and Ambrose beating up on Sheamus and Cesaro as Miz cleared the ring. During the scramble, leading to an impromptu 6-man tag to open up things with the champs, the tag team champs and the IC champ, taking on their challengers for this Sunday. And it was a decent opener for the show. you know, but of course, there were some decent spots in this match. I like the double team that Sheamus and Cesaro did with the white noise double team. That was a cool thing. You know, that was a cool little spot there. But Sheamus and Cesaro dominated the matchup early as they isolated Ambrose in the corner, preventing the tags to both Hardys. But then eventually, Ambrose did get the hot tag to Jeff, even though he almost botched it. Like he was touching Jeff's hand like he missed it the first time, then he nailed it the second time. And Jeff came in like a house of fire with the hot tag, tagging his brother Madden, delivered the poetry in motion, and then we had all the finishers. We had the pro kick. After the pro kick attempt, the miss, but after the poetry motion, we had the dirty deeds of Cesaro. Then we had an uppercut. And then, interesting to see that Miz was trying, I think Miz was going to go for the skull crushing finale. Then Matt would counter it with a twist of fate, and Jeff would get the tag to the hot tag. Swanton bomb, 1, 2, 3. The Hardys and Ambrose win. You know, it's kind of sad to see Miz get pinned here. But hey, you didn't want to see Matt and Jeff pin Cesaro. Sheamus going to kind of give away the ending of the pay-per-view. But I think it was like if Miz's team wasn't going to win, it was the last scenario to do. But it's still sad to see Miz's momentum. He's been getting a lot of momentum. He's going to be in this match. Will it do anything for his momentum? Will it hurt him? It may not hurt him in the long run, especially if he wins this Sunday. But it may hurt him if he loses this Sunday to Ambrose. You will see if that DQ step does come into play here. So then the end of this match was interesting. As they went back to the commentators, Corey Graves had a phone call and he left the desk. Now, at first I was like, is it legit? Did he get a phone call in the middle of the show that his parents died or a family member died or something like that? I thought that. I think a lot of people were assuming that it was a shoot, that Corey was really leaving because of some family emergency. But then once WWE started treating it, we realized it was a work. Because there's a storyline involved with some blackmail with Kurt Angle. Saying that Corey got some sensitive information that could ruin Kurt Angle. We've seen Corey in a lot of storylines this evening. With him with Angle. Saying he's on Angle's side. It's I've always liked Corey. He's one of my favorite announcers on the show. And it's kind of cool to see him involved in a storyline. We'll see what the payoff is. And if it does lead into the Enzo and casting. Because you saw the return of Revival. Kind of. Because Dawson's still selling the jaw injury. But they're saying that didn't have anything to do with attacking Enzo. Because we did see later on, during backstage footage, that we did see the Revival sneaking backstage. As pointed out later. I didn't see that until later on. I didn't notice that last week. But I still think Cass did it. Because then later on, after the Revival interview, Cass would be blamed by Corey. Then a little stare down the wing with an awkward handshake. And then Enzo got attacked again. And it was interesting when Cass said, I'm not going to leave Enzo's side. Well, because every time he leaves him, Enzo gets attacked. He thinks it was the Revival. Maybe it's a coin. Maybe he just thinks the Revival did it. Just to switch to the fact that he did it. Cass did it. I said it last week. I think Cass did it. Or now, maybe Corey had something to do with it. Who knows? With the Corey story now with Angle, see how far this goes, and if it will have any impact in the Enzo situation. Because we all know that Corey does have a hatred for Enzo on the microphone. You know, he's been dissing Enzo for years in NXT and the main roster. So there's maybe some storyline beef or real life beef. But we'll see if the beef does implement the Corey being involved. We'll see how the payoff will be a good payoff or a wah-wah payoff. Oh, but it's not a wah-wah payoff. So now on to our next matchup. Elias Sampson. What a difference a week makes, huh? 1 week against the IC champion in an title match. The next minute, what do we have here for his opponent today? We got a jump. We got a jump. Zach Evans. Move along. Samson did a song, got booed, beat the shit out of Zach Evans, gave him a string neck breaker, victory. Squash, total squash here. Making Styles look, at least Styles gets a real win. He got a win last week, but it was a DQ win. At least he got a clean victory today. In his match, his second full match on Raw. So, interesting there. Now on with the first of our two big events involving the 5 men of our Fatal 5-Way this Sunday. Like I said, the only thing they did right was the build for the main event was pretty good with these 2 matches. First was Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, and Bray Wyatt. Balor wanted a piece of the action last week after not being involved in the match. Because he was involved in the match last week, but it was against somebody else. He was against Carl Anderson last week, who should be together, not separate. Too sweet. So, he got put in this match with Kurt Angle last week at the end of the Raw when he mispronounced Balor's name as Baylor. So, very good triple threat here. Can only match with 2 more guys. I know a lot of people may not be the biggest fans of multi-man matches. We've seen a lot of them lately. I heard it's because WWE's kind of lazy in booking, basically. Lazy booking right now with these multi-person matches on Raw and SmackDown lately. So, because of close to funds, that's why some people don't like them. So I'm going to imagine this match with 2 more guys and weapons, because this is a decent triple threat from what I saw. There were some pretty good sequences here. Balor looked good pretty early until he got double-teamed by Joe and Wyatt. They've had a little confrontations last week. Hey, they won a tag team match last week involving Rollins and Reigns. So they're teaming up to continue. But there was one cool spot where that Wyatt was going for Sister Abigail, and Joe would turn it into a Kakita clutch on Wyatt. That was before they started teaming up on Balor, because they had some differences early on. There was some mind games playing as Wyatt would set up the early half of the match to being tossed back in. And there was a triple towel doom spot to never owed. Because we saw Balor and Joe find the top rope with Balor trying to avoid a suplex from Joe. And then Wyatt would come in, powerbomb Joe, while Balor took the brunt of it by getting suplexed because he was on top. So he got the biggest brunt of the impact. And that's when the double team would begin until Bray Wyatt would basically sucker punch Joe in the face, turning on the alliance that they had. Short-lived. Proving that in this match and this Sunday, it's every man for himself. In a title match against Brock Lesnar on the line at Goodness Gracious, Great Balls of Fire. God, kids, please, is the name of the pay-per-view. So then after the double team failed, Balor coming in even did like big kicks. There was other cool spots. He did slingshot drop kicks in the barricades to both men, to both Joe and Wyatt. And then Joe trying to come back over the, and then both got double stomped too by Balor. That was cool spots too. But then Joe tried to go for the Kakita clutch. Balor come out of it, trying to go for a sling blade. And then he go drop kick, and he set up the coup de grace onto Bray Wyatt. He delivered it. But then just before Balor would get the pin on Wyatt following the coup de grace, Joe would push Balor out of Wyatt, nail him against the post, badly against the post, back first. He would steal the victory. Balor did all the damage. Joe got the victory. So it's kind of interesting that Joe got the win here. Because I think Balor or Wyatt could win this Sunday. My dad and others do not feel that Balor should face Brock Lesnar. Because Balor would get destroyed by Lesnar. He would get injured. But I feel Balor's the right choice. It's either that or Roman Reigns. Either you go with the right choice, Balor, the man who never lost the title, or the predictable choice, having Reigns go up against Lesnar, the 2 men who are the only blemishes on the Undertaker's record. Because Heyman said they wanted Reigns before, but then last week Heyman showed up saying they want Balor to win. They being Lesnar and Heyman. So, but Balor not winning, at least a lot of guys, every guy in the Fatal 5 has had a chance to shine in the last couple of weeks since his match was named. You know, Balor stood tall a couple times, so did Wyatt, and of course tonight Samoa Joe stood tall in this match. We'll see who would stand tall in the Roman Reigns Seth Rollins match later on. But on to a cruiserweight match. A match we've seen many times on 205 Live. Noam Dar against Cedric Alexander's friend, Rich Swann, who's been kind of had his plan to sabotage Fox and Dar's relationship for Cedric since he got injured. He did return last week, but we didn't see him tonight on Raw. As we head towards this, we got a match made for Extreme Rules being a mixed tag. We don't see much of those anymore. Being Noam Dar and Alicia Fox taking on Cedric Alexander's friend, Rich Swann, and Sasha Banks. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. 1 year ago, Banks was in the WWE Women's title picture. 1 year later, she's in a pointless feud with Alicia Fox. Another series of matches with Banks winning the rubber match last week mean nothing, as she'll be in this tag with Swann against Dawn. Fox goes Foxy, and Sasha were at ringside for this matchup. Okay, little cruiserweight matchup. Short but sweet. For a typical cruiserweight match on Raw, at least the other cruiserweight match tonight got a lot more time than this match did. As Dawn gave some kicks early, some whips. Of course, one's high-flying offense got him off. The big kicks. The head scissor kick. That was cool. But there was going for a big splash. Alicia Fox got distracting on Mr. Swann. But then Fox got taken down by Sasha Banks with a nasty bump on the apron, leading Swann, despite the distraction, to get the big splash and the victory on Noam Dar heading towards this Sunday. Because sometimes, and we've seen this, I've said this, that some of the feuds, some of the endings may lead towards predicting the endings of the pay-per-view matches, saying that if one person stands tall on a Raw, the other one will win. Does this mean Dar and Fox will win this Sunday? Because Swann won, or does it mean Alicia Fox will get the win for her team? Or should I say Sasha Banks will get the win? Because Swann pinned Dar. So see who will win their mixed tag match. And I am interested in seeing, will this be the pre-show match? Because they didn't really announce it for the pre-show tonight. It probably will be. Because they didn't announce a proper pre-show match tonight. It probably will be the pre-show match eventually. So we'll see if this will be the pre-show or not. So anyway, on with the next scenario. Being Kalisto against Titus O'Neil. We saw Kalisto beat Apollo Crews last week in his first loss since being aligned, reluctantly should I say, with Titus O'Neil and the Titus brand. And Titus was going to show Kalisto how it's done. Like with Sasha Banks, man, the money have fallen with Kalisto. I thought Kalisto being on Raw would be a great thing, with him being in the Cruiserweight division. Why is he not in it yet? Since he's been on Raw, he's been against Braun Strowman, Apollo Crews, and now Titus O'Neil. We had a shit ending. Kalisto was a good kicks, even trying to go for the Solito del Sol, but he was going for a big move. Titus just pushed him down, held to the tights, and got the victory. Win by any means necessary, because Apollo Crews was admonishing his mentor for winning the cheap way out. So, weird ending. Stupid ending. And once again, making, like I said earlier, making us all say, why the fuck is Kalisto not in the Cruiserweight division yet? Why? Do it already! But then came the show killer, the segment that nearly killed the momentum of the show, and that made the third hour drag. This is your life. When it's done right, with the right people. Like if it's The Rock and Mick Foley, a classic, This Is Your Life. It can go well. This was not one of those moments. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I've been applauding Alexa Bliss for in-ring skill and improving on that, but also her mic skills. She's probably one of the best people on the mic skills in the women's division. She's the only woman that can deliver a decent promo. But not even her promo prowess could save her from this shit mess. Like I said in the beginning, it was not her fault. She had to deal what creative tossed at her, and this was a shit show. She had once early, which she's the best at countering the what chants. What chant 0, Alexa 3. Do fans ever learn that Alexa Bliss can take your what chants and stick them up your ass? But then, it got worse. It dragged me. God. Yeah, these trophies. She was trying her best to do the best she can with the material she was handed with. Like I said, it wasn't her fault. And I was trying to see her trying, but then it just dragged into soap opera territory with the teacher, Miss Flapper, the mic difficulty, and the crowd was saying what, and then you heard this is boring chants, and then you had these two best friends of, God, the acting was, like, seriously, the acting of the best friend, the acting was so bad, it made the Bellas look like better actors. That's how bad she was. She make fun of the Bellas acting all the time on TV. This was worse. And then they had like this so-called guy who was playing Bailey's ex-boyfriend, saying that he was only dating her because to get to the best fan, they started having this awkward kiss. It was like, are we watching WWE? Are we watching the Real Housewives of Los Angeles? Or any sort of reality show, insert show here. And then Bailey came out to save us from this mess 10 minutes too late. But she was trying to grab the candlestick and couldn't nail Bliss yet again. Which, as I said earlier, about seeing people standing tall could make the other guy win. Because Bliss got the upper hand yet again by nailing Bailey with the candlestick to end this segment. A shit segment. This may be setting up for Bailey to regain the title. Because Bliss has been getting upper hand. We haven't seen Bailey get too extreme. Is she extreme? So we'll see if Bailey will get extreme in the candlestick on a pole match this Sunday on Extreme Rules. Because I hope the match is better than the bell. Especially this segment, this did no girl any favor, especially Bliss. Like I said, I felt so bad for her. You know, she was handing this material. She was trying to turn shit into gold, and unfortunately, the shit was too big. It was too heavy for her to turn into gold. It was just too much. You know, you could tell she was trying so desperately to make it work, but God, like I said, even a woman of her magnitude couldn't save this shit show. And like I said, momentum just went from there. You try to get the crowd back on your side. A crowd who couldn't care less about a women's match. How about trying to make them care more? Then you had a cruiserweight match after that. A division that nobody cares for because they're booking of that as almost as bad as women's division on Raw. Making SmackDown look like the superior show yet again. They're taking chances. I love what they're doing to Breezango. Jinder Mahal, not as bad as other fans are, but should have been Sami Zayn. But hey, we want something new, but hey, Jinder's the one guy, but at least, hey, he's selling it well. Should not use the waist card anymore. You know, that's his thing. That's like cheap eat. Too cheap eat. He's like, you only hate me because I'm an Indian. Descent. Stop using the race card, guy. Just make people hate you just because of your color. Make people hate you because of your actions. Not just because you're a different race of everybody. So, we had a Cruiserweight tag, a match we've seen various times last month in various combinations. And this is not the best way to get the crowd back on your side. Especially after that shit segment. We have Austin Aries and Jack Gallagher taking on TJP and Neville. Now, this should have had a fast-paced matchup to get the crowd back up, even if the crowd doesn't care about the Cruiserweight division that much. Because of the way it's being booked on Raw and, of course, 205 Live. Being the least rated show on WWE Network, which could make the Mae Young Classic take its place. Yes, that's the name of the women's tournament. That's cool. Hopefully it's booked better than the Bliss segment. Anyway! It was a slow match. You know, this ain't the type of... Like, for Cruiserweight, they should have had a more fast-paced match to get the crowd back up. A slow grind was not the best way to get the crowd back on your side, especially after that Bliss segment. I keep mentioning it, but it's like, damn it. I feel so bad for her. It wasn't her fault. Selling a broken record. Let's move on. Of course, Neville wanted... Well, Aries wanted a piece of Neville. But Neville, of course, had to got DJP in to isolate Neville, and of course his technical partner Jack Allen when he got back in. They had some exchanges, including a bent headbutt. Took them both out, got the hot tag to Aries coming in, some big moves, then the simple crash. He was even trying to set up for the Discus 5 arm. But then TJP would come in. Comes some big moves, and then it's an interesting ending here. Of course, we have a submission match this Sunday. So Neville got back in. Got some big moves, and he mixed the big splash off the top rope. And then he got caught by Aries into the last chancery. I thought, they're not going to spoil the ending of the match for pay-per-view for free. They're going to have DJP break the count. Nope. Aries had Neville tap out to the last chancery, which leads to possible scenarios. Aries will win again on Sunday with the same move. B. Aries will use a different submission. Or likely, Neville will retain. Like I said, if one guy looks tall on Monday, the other guy will probably win. Because we've seen Neville tap out tonight. We could see Neville win this Sunday to make Aries tap out to the rings of Saturn. So it was interesting. A weird move to make your champ lose a tag team match, especially by tapping out. I know we've seen TJP tap out to the last champion too many times. So maybe that's why they had Aries make Neville tap out for once. But still, making a champ lose a tag team match, especially before a submission match, weird booking there. So then the only really other bright spot, as I mentioned, we had the main event matches involving the 5 guys in the Fatal 5-Way, the Corey Graves storyline stuff, and the Goldust R-Truth promos. I hope they don't drop the ball with Goldust. They dropped the ball creatively on him so many times. Like with his feud against Stardust, should have been a whole lot better. Hopefully his feud's a lot better. Because I loved the promo last week. It was like old school Goldust minus the wig and minus Molina. And it was another great promo from him yet again. You know, he's back in the director's chair. And this movie will reach a crescendo. It won't be a happy ending. It won't be a sad ending. It'll be gold. And then all of a sudden, as Goldust was ending his promo, R-Truth would come in with his own little promo, like parenting Goldust movies stuff. Because Goldust was making fun of movie references. See, he's making references to Psycho. And R-Truth at his moment, like, What's Up Productions? And it was gonna go in. He made Pulp Fiction references, especially Samuel L. Jackson's character, saying that, did I break your concentration? Will allow me to retort. It's probably the best promos I've seen of R-Truth ever since his heel turn back in 2011. Because those promos were really good too. And like those heel turn promos, yeah, in this promo whip, you're going to get cut. So I like the exchange with these two guys. You know, I like going through for a good comic tag team, but this feud could be a lot more interesting than we think, especially these promos are doing good. Speaking of promos, the Roman Reigns promo backstage was not bad. He has bad mic skills, but at least, hey, making him talk short but sweet won't make his weaknesses show more, as we've seen too much in the past. His weaknesses, when it comes to his mic skills, have been really exposed a lot. And that leads to our main event. Roman Reigns against Seth freaking Rollins. This was a great main event match. Very hard-hitting, very exciting. Some good spots. Especially involving Superman Punch. 2 variations of Roman nailing that Superman Punch. Rollins going for a big splash off the top rope. He got caught in midair by the Superman Punch, should I say. And then proving that Roman can't sell for shit. He got caught into a buckle bomb. And then he kind of sold it. Like he took the buckle bomb, bounced off the turnbuckle, bam, nailed the Superman Punch on the Rollins. Because he can't sell stuff, and he didn't sell yet again. But that aside, it was still a good spot to do, with him taking the buckle bomb and bouncing back in that Superman Punch. And then Rollins would make Reigns miss a spear in the steps. And it was just a fun match. These two have had wars before. You know, this is the first one-on-one in Raw in years. Because I think the last one-on-one encounter was last year at Money in the Bank, which Rollins won before the Ambrose cashed in. which you should have cashed in on wins. But it was good exchange, especially with the Buckle Bomb Superman punch. That's like one of the best spots with the Buckle Bomb Superman punch exchange. That was a crazy spot. It was like back and forth, and then all of a sudden, Juan's going for some big moves. He did go for the Buckbuster. He did get the Insecurity. And he did do a Frog Splash. But then he was going for other big moves. He did get caught with the spear after various attempts by Waynes. Got it done. Sadly, 1, 2, 3, woman wins. Make woman look strong. And we end Raw with an all too familiar image. A woman standing tall. Hopefully that will not be the lasting image of this Sunday's pay-per-view. Because like Bray Wyatt said in the past, anyone but you, woman. Anyone but you. You know, in Rollins, because you've seen him before. You know, I predict Balor or Wyatt. You know, as much as a lot of people don't want to see Balor and Lesnar, especially seeing Balor get destroyed. Especially my dad. Because he's like, Lesnar should not face guys like Finn Balor. Finn Balor's not tough enough to take the bumps from Lesnar. He'll get fucking hurt. That's why we would never see Lesnar against Daniel Bryan. For the same reasons, my dad would say. Because he wasn't messing with me a lot. He got me into wrestling. That's why he still watches it with me. So, when he's able to. Because it's trancy stuff. Transdimensional stuff. Very weird to explain. Very lengthy. It'd be more boring to tell that story than that This Is Your Life segment from Alexa Bliss tonight. Sorry. Sorry, man. Everyone was making fun of it. And it wasn't Bliss's fault. So, selling the pay-per-view, they sold the main event well for the Extreme Rules. You know, the 2 matches involving the 5 guys was great building, with the 2 matches being good, but the rest of the build for the pay-per-view doesn't make you want to buy it. You know, the main event build was great, but the build for the rest of the matches were just so-so. Especially the women's one. Hopefully the match is better than that build. So, there you go. With all of that stuff. With this Raw review tonight, thank you so much for watching. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Hope you had a happy and safe Memorial Day weekend. See you later. Bye-bye to you.